So thanks again for being here. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for coming right back to the Arts Are the Answer segment of Your Town. And now we are so thrilled to talk with Katya Semmes she's one of the founders and director for the Dali 17 Museum. And again, it's a story of the arts, culture, and vibrancy, bringing in so many people in the community, but also bringing visitors and in such an amazing location. So Katya, welcome to the program. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you. So can you describe for people who haven't seen it yet exactly what it looks like? It's so impressive when you come across the museum. It's just so big and so colorful. Can you just describe a little bit about what that is? And then also, what made you choose that place for your museum?
So many exciting questions to answer. So Dali 17, let me start off with sharing why it's even called that, just to give people a little background. We named it Dali 17 because we thought that it would be so fitting to bring back the local history that was lost for a while. Mm-hmm. So many people don't realize that Salvador Dali, the surrealist pioneer, as he says, Dali, he lived here in the 1940s. He lived here in the region from Monterey at the old Del Monte Hotel, which now is the Naval Postgraduate School.
Yeah.
He lived in Carmel in an apartment or two. He lived at the lodge in Pebble Beach.
Oh, wow.
So, most people don't even realize that the original 17-mile drive actually, back then in the 40s, went from Monterey, where the old Del Monte Hotel was located, all the way down to Pebble Beach. So it was actually a straight shoot.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And so
That's
the
amazing.
current 17-mile drive that everybody enjoys is that wraparound, and that's the one around Pebble Beach. But the original 17-mile drive, which is very rich history of this region, included Monterey and Carmel. And so we decided to name it Dali 17 to capture the 17-mile drive, the original 17-mile drive, where Dali actually resided for a very long period of time. And while he was here, he actually created a lot of his masterpieces. He even had his biography. He started writing his biography, which we sell at our gift shop at the Dali 17 Museum. So that's a little bit of that local history that is very exciting.
That's wonderful.
And what's fun about it is that Dali, there are many, many Salvador Dali museums around the world. Mm-hmm. He pretty much there's an exhibit or a museum, a permanent museum, wherever he's resided, except for the Monterey Peninsula. And so when we were deciding on what we're going to do with this collection, because the collection, as you know, it's an extensive collection. It is rich with many suites from tapestries, etchings, sculptures, lithographs, and it's continuously growing. It's our private permanent collection here in Monterey, and we decided to have it here because it was exhibited in Spain and Belgium for a short period of time and never in the United States. So we said, well, this is our home. We live in this region. We love this region.
Yeah.
This is our community. We want to share this with the community. And we want this to be part of something where not only tourists and visitors who come from around the globe can come and appreciate and enjoy and learn about his roots to the Monterey region, but also the local community to have an actual vibrant, exciting, modern, that has, that tie into local history museum where they can go. I mean, we launched a membership program just for that reason. That's very affordable, so people can come year round. We have, hours where 7 days a week we're open. We're doing activities, which we'll talk about in a second, I'm sure, so that the community can get involved and have something to go to other than the normal, let's go to dinner and, date night. Now you can actually have a beautiful, vibrant museum to go and enjoy for hours on end, and even participate in a docent tour, which we've launched and we offer on a weekly basis for any guests who want to participate in that. We have this great theater, as you know, and we showcase a lot of the movies he's been involved in, movies he's done with Alfred Hitchcock, movies he's done with Walt Disney, icons, right? Film icons. And also his life, documentaries about who Dali really was, what was unique about him, what kind of influence he had on the world, not only in the arts, culture, photography, clothing, furniture, jewelry, film. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And today, because of Dali's existence, our lives are directly influenced in ways that we don't even realize.
Right. Yeah. So when you decided, so you had a collection and you're looking for just the right place and you realized that our region had all these different connections that are so, so important. How did you find the actual site that you're in now? It just seems made for the collection. It just seems made for what you're trying to do. Having a theater there already, being right in the middle of a Custom House Plaza. I mean, that's just an amazing spot. So how did that come together?
Things sometimes happen with purpose, right? That's what I at least tell myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes things were meant to be, and we feel like this was definitely something that was truly meant to be. We spent a good, fair amount of time trying to figure out what we were going to do with the collection. If we were going to put it on exhibit, would it be permanent, temporary?
Sure.
If we were going to bring it and permanently locate it here, well, we wanted to make sure that it had a good home that it could be housed at, so that people could, of all walks of life, tourists, community members, regional members. When I say regional, I mean all the way to the Bay Area.
Sure. Yeah.
Anybody can come, because we're the only Salvador Dali museum, so in the West Coast.
That's
There's
what I
only
thought,
one other museum of Dali's, which is a public institution, and they're located in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay.
So we don't have one in the West Coast, and we have so many lovers of art, especially in the Monterey. I mean, the art world in Monterey is very rich and historical as well. The art movement, for example, and back in the day, it all started here. So in regards to figuring out where we were going to locate it, we put the feelers out there to figure out what's available, who would make a good, maybe even a partner or some sort. And at one point we heard about Monterey History and Art Association and their great work. And we thought we would at least talk to them about it. And so the Monterey History and Art Association had this building, where we're located at, which is the Museum of Monterey, formerly, Stanton Center. And we had a discussion with them. They loved the local history of Dali's life here. They thought that the collection would work really well in that building. And throughout a span of months in continuous talks, we thought it would make sense to do a joint venture. And our joint venture with them has been fabulous. It's been, we respect and appreciate what Monterey History and Art Association does. These are all volunteers who are passionate about, as you know, about Monterey. They're passionate about the history. They're passionate about the adobes. They're passionate about making sure that everything associated with them is appreciated and that the community continues to enjoy. And so when we partnered with them as a joint venture, when we did the joint venture with them, it was just such a natural fit. And so we started working on the building and updating it and preparing it for the collection. We have over 580 pieces of works of Salvador Dali, not on display because we only have so much room in there.
Even in a big space like that, it's still finite.
Exactly. And so we have a very large percentage of that on display today. And one of the exciting things we're going to be doing, and I think I mentioned at some point that, we just had our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. It was on July 8th. We celebrated our 1-year anniversary. We had community members show up and celebrate with us and discuss our achievements and what we've been doing. And we're really proud of the fact that USA Today ranked us as the #1 permanent must-see new exhibitions in the country.
So phenomenal.
So exciting. Not just for us, but for the region, for
definitely.
California. To have this beautiful gem here and be acknowledged at that level. And the kind of publicity and media we've received is just amazing. And according to the Monterey Visitors Bureau, we've learned that within the first 4 months to 6 months of opening our doors to the public, we actually have brought in over $5 million in free publicity and advertising to the region alone.
And that, they talk about free publicity, but really you can't even pay for that. Even if you had the $5 million, you're not going to get it. So the kind of publicity that you have is really, really that precious, just amazing. And I think also it's such a different take on the Monterey story. And I think that's one of the things that's so exciting about the museum is that it really is something so, so different. So it really must make so many people look and say, I know Monterey is beautiful, I know it's historic, I know all these things, but wait, what's this new thing? This is so amazing. And that it yet still is rooted in our historic experience. It's just extraordinary. Yes. Can you talk a little bit about, I know you're developing programs, and it's so great to me to see, I feel like every time I look around you, you're doing more with the community, bringing people in for different reasons. Can you talk about that programming that you're developing?
Absolutely. So summer season is a busy time for us and for the region. And so we thought we want to give the community an opportunity to participate over the summer with their families, with their kids, with their significant others. And we have people of all age ranges and backgrounds and diversities and so forth who come in and participate in some of our programs. As I mentioned earlier, we launched a membership program just specifically for this. So members have free access to some of these wonderful opportunities and experiences that we're providing. That membership, obviously, anybody can come into the museum, sign up for it. They can do it on our website, inquire about it. But as far as the programs itself, like over the summer so far, we've done a speaker series where we have very interesting speakers who come in and discuss and share, whether it's authors that are relevant to the surrealism movement, whether it's historians who've talked about Dali's life in the peninsula, whether it's even the owner of the collections, Dimitri Peterman himself, who has given a talk about his art and his collection and has answered Q&As to the crowd who filled up the room. And we have that, again, beautiful theater room where we hold it in. So we've had speaker series that have included all of this and given people a chance to have accessibility, not just to the art and to view it, but to accessibility to the people behind it or to the people who are experts on certain topics.
Which makes their experience so much richer. It always makes you want to go back and take another look. And then that your experience really is total. I mean, not total, but it's so much richer. It's so wonderful.
And I think Dimitri's an intellect. He's an intellectual person, and he appreciates knowledge, and so do I. And I think that makes it fascinating, like you were saying. Secondly, I think the influence of Monterey on us, the fact that Monterey, as we all know, there's so many amazing historical things that have happened here. I mean, the more you learn about it, I get goosebumps when I think about it, because I live here in this community now, and I'm so lucky to be part of this community in a sense of knowing my direct connection to all the things that have occurred here historically and even modern history. Like, for example, TED Talks, as we know, started here in Monterey. A lot of people don't know this. But it has such an amazing following and amazing speakers who participate in it. So we were influenced by that and said, hey, we could take advantage of doing our own version of speaker series in our theater room that brings back a little bit of that, conversation to the table with the arts.
And exploration, all those things.
So that's a seasonal program. We hold it seasonally. You can get more information, obviously, by inquiring, calling us, going into our website. We also have had other interesting programs. For example, I've worked with the local artists from the Salinas community. These are hardworking local artists who have been part of our volunteer platform from the beginning, from the get-go. And they go into these local public schools that have lost the arts, by the way. So, for example, if, in public institutions, unfortunately, when budget cuts happen, it's usually the arts that go first. And that's really sad, because I think as a balanced person, the arts are a very important lesson. We learned so much from the arts, so much, and it's such a rich, the arts are so rich, and it's not just one thing, right? You could have a passion in photography or film or this or that. I mean, that is an important skill and important knowledge to have as you're growing up. And we worked with this young group, and learned that they go into these public institutions, so these high schools and elementary schools and whatnot, and they provide their time and teach them how to paint, or teach them, what surrealism is, what, cubism is, and all the different things. And we felt that they would be such a good fit on coming into our museum and doing a once a month Paint with Dali 17 night. where anybody from the public, not just members, can come in and purchase a canvas directly from these kids and sit down, and they basically conduct the class and teach them how to paint one of Dali's masterpieces.
That is wonderful.
While, it gets better, the adults in the room get to sip on local wine. So we have the whole wine and painting. Yes, I mean, we get more creative when we have a little bit of that, that yummy local, Carmel wineries and so forth. We work with Monterey wineries. When they come in and they pour a little bit of to sample some of the beautiful wines and get that local touch too. I think Dali was a wine lover, so it makes sense. So we've been doing that, and this, fortunately, because it's been such a success, we decided to make it a year-round program, not just a summertime thing. So the first Saturday of the month, every month, people can purchase tickets in advance, and it does book up fast, fortunately.
What are the hours for the paint?
So the hours, so it's the first Saturday of the month, and on the top of my head, I think it's either 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay.
I'm going to have to
So some late afternoon kind of
thing. It's an afternoon thing, and I believe it's the Saturday or Sunday, so I could be wrong on the date. I keep getting the dates mixed up because we have so many different programs we've done. But again,
we
they
can check on
inquire.
Your website.
Yeah, we can definitely have people inquire, go on our website, dali17.com, call in. It's very easy. And then we've had other programs, which I'll be a little bit shorter about. We have docent programs. People can come and learn about the collection and learn how to become a docent. So they go through this process, and we have people who are so passionate about being able to volunteer and educate other people about the extensive art.
And
so
that's really great for people who are visiting to have. I was talking to someone just earlier today about how much richer your experience is when you have somebody taking you through it, especially the first time, but even every time. The docents have so much to offer and so much passion, and it's just great for everyone. So we just have a couple of minutes left, almost just the 1 minute, but what is next? I mean, you've already done so much in just the little bit of time that you've had, but when you look ahead, like maybe even a couple of years, I imagine you're already thinking, what's next?
Well, so I didn't even capture everything we've been doing. That's the best part. I'm going to call it like 2
you have
or 3
to go to
things.
that website.
I know. So we even do movie nights for families
Oh,
where
you
we bring
do?
a popcorn machine for then we do, child-friendly movie nights, like we did Fantasia, for example.
Oh, perfect,
So we get the families involved and so forth. So we've done those types of seasonal programs.
Yeah.
Going forward, like I mentioned, we had our 1-year anniversary, which we celebrated. And in my speech, I mentioned that we're excited for the new year, because we have accomplished. We had the big gala, the famous legendary 1941 Dali party.
Yeah, it must have been amazing.
Yes, it was. To this day, people talk about it. This was last Halloween. So there have been many, many things. Now, going forward, I'm at a place where I'm looking at what's the feedback we've been receiving from people. So besides we're launching the membership program, giving people accessibility, we're circulating some of the new pieces into the collection to give people a chance to see new things. And we are excited about the fact that I am investing my time, energy, and resources into launching an audio tour as well. So where we can have an audio tour for people who maybe don't have the opportunity to participate in the docent tours, to be able to go in like they do in a museum and rent one of the audio equipments and go and actually spend hours experiencing the art in an auditory manner. So the audio program is one of the things that I'm very excited about launching. I think it's going to add a lot of educational value. And other programs that we're looking at incorporating are going to be more interactive and community oriented. I'm always open to the idea of learning about what does the community want.
That's beautiful. So we're going to leave it right there, and we are so grateful to you for your leadership, and not just even establishing the museum, but going forward and forward and forward to embracing people and getting them to have many more opportunities to learn and to do and to interact with everything. So I love your motto also. I understand that you're a part of making the motto happen as well. Things are about to get surreal. And that's just really, really great. So thank you for being here, and thank you for what you've brought to our community.
Thank you for having me.